Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 478. This show is brought to you by Firearms, VZ Grips, and Walker Defense. In this show, we have an elegant Civivi review, a large pistol dot, a fat carry gun, some new night sights, and a small fixed blade. As you may know, we showcase guns, gear, and anything else you might be interested in. We do our best to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm Chad Wallace, and with me tonight we have Tony, Rob, and Rusty. So they're all here. Hey, Rusty, do you have the show notes up? Hey.
VZ Grips. VZ Grips have been manufacturing handgun grips since 2003 with a reputation for quality, consistency, innovation. Top tier manufacturers choose VZ Grips. They come in a variety of styles, pattern, color, and are a manufacturer from proprietary G10, micarta, carbon fiber, or polymer. Available with varying degree of texture.
English language is kind of hard for Rusty.
Yeah. I got a cat climbing up my leg. VZ offers a wide range of grips for all different types of firearms. Made in the USA, VZ Grips gives you grips you can count on. Today is the Operator 2 for the Ruger 22 Mark IV. And I tell you what, anything that has to do with the Mark IV has to be awesome because that is one of my most favorite firearms in the whole world. And do they come in? No.
I know.
God dang it. No, they don't come in dirty olive.
Oh, dude, that's...
You can get them in black gray, blue black, or Predator green. I tell you what, the Predator green is probably the prettiest ones I've seen. If you put them on that Ruger 2245 and the one with they have one with like a 3-inch or 4-inch barrel and suppress that thing, man, you got you a top-notch 22 right there to go out and blink with, squirrel hunt with, put an optic on it. The new Holliston that we're going to talk about tonight, you got you a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And VZ Grips will never let you down, buddy. I tell you that for sure.
Where can you find those at?
Well, you know what? If you go check out VZ Grips at vzgrips.com and you use our coupon code GGR15, you get 15% off handgun and rifle grips at vzgrips.com.
Nice. Now, we'll put a disclaimer in here for him. He's kind of in the South, Rusty is, so we understand that,
Hey, what's your problem with Southerners?
Well, we got Florida man too, so.
Damn straight.
But yeah, exactly. So
just because I leave out a few letters here and there.
Don't worry, I'm in Oregon and we can't pronounce anything right either. So
hey, Tony's Southern by birth.
Very much so. I don't deny it.
Yeah. Well,
matter of fact, I'm proud of it.
I used to be proud to be from Oregon. This is used to be. So
used to be a was could again.
Yeah, we could fix stuff.
Now Chad's trying to be Western Idaho now.
Yeah, I would so hope, but that's not going to happen where I live. So, did you guys do anything cool in firearms this week?
No.
I cleaned some.
What? Nobody does that.
Oh, yeah. I had one that was still covered in mud from when I fell off the cliff here like a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
I opened up the gun safe and the mud was all dried and crusty. So I figured, I was like, it's time to take our modern
all right,
Spartan.
We're hearing way too much information.
Supply cleaning kit and clean it.
I love the fact that the gun's sitting in the safe talking to the other guns. They're like, it's like, yeah, like it was my fault he fell.
Yeah.
I get to sit covered in mud for a year.
Good Lord.
That's why I bought a new gun to take its place. It threw me off balance.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it's my fault. Yeah, so because I shot in 2 different competitions over a weekend. Friday. I did the action shooting. I just checked out the score. I don't even know what it means, but I'm in 20th out of 29 shooters, which was cool. I shot that with the Glock. If you guys watch my Instagram, you saw me fumbling around, and there was just nothing smooth. I think I shot just better, more accurately. Excuse me, not better, but more accurately than some of the other guys. But I have to understand that this is a defensive firearms class. So center mass is like cool, but if it has a stripe down the middle and black on both sides, the black is no shoot. You're supposed to shoot it. And I'm like, pow, pow, good enough, pow, pow. And it's like, no.
Just remember, center mass for Tony is different than center mass for Chad or Rusty or Rob.
Hey, have you ever noticed that Tony's beard looks like a set of Dawson sots just reversed?
It's Tony's beard is just like the target he shot, but reversed.
Pretty much.
It's blacked out with a white front.
Anyway.
You're in so much trouble right now.
So that was action shooting on Friday. Again, it was different. I've only done that, I think it's 3 times since November. And then I did something new. It was an outlaw rimfire challenge, which is just a rimfire shoot, where you have 1, 2, 3, I think 5 targets, and then a red stop target that you have to hit last. You have to shoot them in a certain order. And I think it's about 20-yard shots. That's where it is. I shot it with my handgun, and I didn't do horrible. And then I shot it with my rifle, my 22, in the bullpup chassis, and it was just as slow as my handgun because it's transitioning from one to the other. It's getting used to that, and you get 5 runs. So of course I did it 5 times in a row, and they got quicker each time. But it's getting used to shooting differently. Yeah, I don't know how these guys practice. Maybe they go to the range and practice, or maybe they practice there. But I'm like, me doing it once a month, I don't know how I'm going to get better, but I'm going to work on it.
I can tell you how to get better, Tony.
What? What's up?
Dry fire practice.
Dry fire shifting from one target to the other like that?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to do something because I thought I was terrible. Again, I wasn't in last place because I don't think some of these guys shoot at all. But it was just so different. It was so different, and I like that.
How does your Ruger SR22 correlate to your Ruger G19? I mean, does it? I've never shot the SR22. I have the Walther P22.
Yeah.
So does it feel the same in your hand? How does it like? So can you transition from one to the other and pick it up and say, okay, I feel the same?
No, not at all. Everything from the grip being thinner, even with the large grip on, to the angle is different because the Ruger SR22 is at a 1911 type grip, and the Glock is, of course, at the Luger or Glock grip. So, yeah, that's different. So it's not like I can bounce between one and the other. The reason I got the one with the 4.5-inch barrel is just so you can have the longer sight radius, and it's the size of a real gun. So, I mean, as in lengthwise, draw-wise, everything, because I wanted to introduce people to it as a bigger gun.
That was just my question. I just wanted to ask that because you always have logic behind why you have what you have, and I didn't know if that messed you up a little bit when you go from competition to competition.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably be better with it because one was Friday and one was Monday. So they're kind of close together. But, hey, I'm glad I did it. I'm not going to buy gear other than maybe the mag pouches you guys were showing me earlier because I have drawn from the pocket when you have 4 or 5 mags rattling around. They change orientation. So, from bullet force. So now I have to pull it out, figure out which way the mag is facing, and then stick it in. So I'm losing a significant amount of time doing that. And again, if I'm competing the way I carry, then I need to have a second mag ready to go in a logical, predictable way.
Yeah. Neo mag, right? Isn't that what you need?
something.
The Neo Mag,
Okay.
that's a little magnetic one.
Any kind of pistol competition, especially the outlaw competitions, where they don't really care about it. You have your pistol holster here and your magazines here. I'll carry on that pistol competition the same way I carry in real life. Then that way, when I have to draw, I know exactly where I have to go to get my reload. Bam, boom, and then re-engage the target.
Yeah, I had an outside waistband holster that I think that's the first time I ever wore it. And it had a spare mag at an angle in it. So when I went to do the reload, I actually had to think, where the fuck is that magazine at? Okay, here it is.
I can't cross body reload. I cannot do that. I can't grab from cross body. I have to do it on the same side. You know, like say if my mag is on, I have to carry my mag on my weak hand.
Yeah,
that's
so
that's the way
That's
I carry
the thing
it.
is, when you practice and you get opportunities to practice the way you carry. Don't worry about being number one in the tournament or number one in the competition. Worry about or focus on drawing and reloading from the way you actually do things in real life.
Especially if you're using it for training and not competition. Like if you're strictly shooting the competition.
I mean, even when I'm in competition, I don't care about the competition. I don't care about winning the competition. I care about using this scenario.
That is a training opportunity.
Right.
And if the way I do things.
Yeah, if you're doing
because
that, yes.
You'll never get the competition. If you want to do the competition, that's awesome the way they do that. But that, to me, it doesn't mimic real life or real carry or real engagements.
I agree.
My personal opinion.
Nope.
I totally agree with you. And if you are there to win a competition, then compete. You know what I mean? Play the
Win
game.
the competition.
Yep, play the game.
But I'm there for a different reason. Not better or worse, just different.
Yep.
And I don't plan on buying really expensive belts with Velcro and mag holders with magnets on the back. And I'm not going to go through that expense.
Hey, I resemble that comment, Tony.
Hey, well, that's why you look at dumb fat redneck who showed up at an outlaw pistol competition with a What the hell?
He doesn't even remember what he had.
Oh, no, I had the Desert Eagle 50 caliber with two custom made ammo holsters that I ran in a freaking pistol competition. Everybody's like, "You're gonna shoot that?" Yes. And your point is,
yeah, why not?
Okay, have fun.
That's exactly. It's all for what you're doing. So.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, that's awesome. A nice little cigar rest right there, brother.
Now, I actually made it to the range. Thanks to some kid of mine. He wanted to. He wanted to take a friend of his to the range, and I'm like, sure, So I made it Friday, which worked out well because I got some Trigger Tech triggers in. A few weeks ago, we talked about their new duty trigger. I got one of those in, and then I got one of their diamond AR triggers in. So it gave me some time on those. Here's actually the diamond AR one if you're watching the video in an AR. It's their top of the line single stage. Adjustable 1.5 to 4 pounds. And the duty one, I got the 3.5 curved version. My scale, it's right at 3.5 pounds. It's like it just, and it's different, but they'll get full reviews, so you guys will find out about them. I got some trigger time in, Lance got some time in, his friend got some time in, so it worked out good. So that's what I did.
I got some stuff in the mail from you, and I've been using double duty I got the Walker defense rails in.
Yeah.
And man, I tell you what, these things work good as a loofah. Silicone. Woo-wee. You can file fingernails. You can you can take dead skin off your body with it. These things grip. Yeah, these now grip panels, M-Lock. I'm telling you what, guys. Not just because they sent us these, but if you want something that'll grip your hands, grip your gloves, grip your skin. These things will do it. I mean, I filed my fingernails with them the other day. I'm not kidding. I did.
No, they literally are. And yes, they are a sponsor, and they did get sent them, but they are super grippy and they're so thin. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah. I was disappointed though, because the ones that I have that aren't on anything are 3-panel rails like you guys got. And I was going to put some on this one, but it's only 2 slots for the M-LOK slots because it is carbon fiber one. I was like, well, guess I better get some 2-slot ones before I do that and knock stuff off the table.
I just want to throw that out there. I thought they were pretty damn awesome.
That's good. Now, Bandwidth sponsor, of course, you guys might know who they are. And if you're a new listener, thank you for listening. It is Patriot Patch Co. Of course, they have all kinds of cool stuff over their signs. Of course, patches. And you can join their Patch of the Month club. Of course, this month's exclusive Patch of the Month it's some sort of, shotgun that's got a firework in it for, so we get it this month for next month as the Independence Day one. So definitely go check those out. Join the Patch of the Month club. You too can get a sticker and a patch every month. Now you can always get our t-shirts, including the Kilt in the Street shirt, at the merch tab at firearmsinsider.tv. Now, as you know, we have a bunch of affiliates. Some have discounts and some are just straight discounts. But we added a couple more. So now there is a Palmetto State Armory affiliate in there. So, if you're like anybody else, you always are buying stuff from Palmetto State Armory. So now if you would like, you can click through our affiliate and then buy stuff. Actually, in the chat right now, I posted one that's for a 16-inch upper because, hey, it's out there. You guys can take a look at it, or...
Wait, what do we get for Magpul?
We have it's an affiliate. We get a few pennies. So Magpul's in there too, but it's direct from Magpul. So, I hate to say this, but you can probably get it from Palmetto State Armory for cheaper than you can get it from Magpul. So
probably
that's why it's in there. But yeah, go check them out. There's a bunch of stuff from a bunch of good companies. So, Rob.
So this is the part where Squidward says, the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And now, hey, we got a main topic tonight, and it's sponsored by Walker Defense Research. Walker Defense provides shooters with the finest, most innovative, quality tactical accessories and firearm components around. From their Nile grip panels to their Nero muzzle brakes, no detail is ever left behind. Only top quality materials are used for the manufacturing process. Together, all of this gives you some of the best firearms performance around. Everything they have to offer is proudly made in the USA. Good stuff. Walker Defense, where American ingenuity meets bleeding edge technology. And our product of the week for Walker Defense Research is the 2-slot Nile grip panels.
You'll never guess why it's the 2-slot Nile grip panels.
I have no idea, and I don't want to know with these idiots on this chat. And you can visit Walker Defense Research at walkerdr.com. And remember to use the code INSIDER15 for 15% off everything at walkerdr.com.
There you go. Now, main topic.
Up too bad.
No, you did good, Rob. You did good.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so thank you. Now, product review. Like Rob said, we have one. Of course, I put my name by it, but it's not actually my review. It's my son's review, Lance. So I'm pretty much going to read this because, he wrote it. But because the product was given to us, I'm obligated to do it since I couldn't convince him to. Kids these days.
Oh, we love swag. Swag.
So This is titled An Elegant and Lightweight EDC Choice, the Civivi Elementum Button Lock Carbon Fiber Blade. So if you're watching the video, I can click it up here so you can actually see it. There's some good pictures in there, but this is carbon fiber handle, Damascus blade. You get the idea. And so, oops, I'm still clicking to myself. So the Civivi Elementum Damascus with carbon fiber handle and a stunning 3.47-inch Damascus blade is a true testament to the craftsmanship, quality, and attention to detail that Civivi brings to the table. As an everyday carry enthusiast, which I will agree he is, I had the pleasure of using this knife for a couple months and loved it. First and foremost, the knife's appearance is simply gorgeous. The Damascus blade with its intricate patterns exudes a sense of uniqueness I often don't find in other knives. The carbon fiber handle complements the blade perfectly, providing a modern, sleek aesthetic. I found myself proudly showing off this knife whenever the opportunity arose. One of the standout features of the Civivi Elementum is its lightweight carbon fiber handle. The knife feels incredibly nimble and light in the hand, making it an excellent to use for quick cuts or extended jobs. The handle's non-textured surface offers a secure and comfortable grip, enhancing overall control and maneuverability. Whether I was performing intricate tasks or simply using it for everyday cutting needs, the lightweight handle allowed for precise and effortless handling. While the Elementum impresses with its appearance and handle, I do have one major complaint. After a month of daily use, I noticed the loss of sharpness in the blade. Admittedly, this is not uncommon for EDC knives. However, it would have been preferable if the blade retained its sharpness for a bit longer before requiring maintenance. Nonetheless, this issue can be easily remedied with routine sharpening. Overall, the Civivi Elementum button lock knife with its Damascus blade and carbon fiber handle is a top-notch EDC option. The lightweight carbon fiber handle ensures a comfortable experience, making it a pleasure to use in various scenarios. While the blade's sharpness may require occasional maintenance, this minor drawback doesn't overshadow the knife's exceptional qualities. For those seeking a reliable and stylish EDC companion, the Civivi Elementum is undoubtedly worth considering. Overall, the Civivi Elementum is a stylish pick for anyone looking for a new EDC knife. With a price point of $126 MSRP, the Elementum is an excellent purchase and a testament to Civivi's quality. And granted, if you've heard my reviews, you could tell I didn't write this. It's way better than anything I write. So, Firearm Insider reviews 8 key points. Claim to fame: button lock, Damascus. All right, we got like a motorcycle going by. Damascus blade, carbon fiber handles, folding knife. Target market is those wanting a nice looking quality knife for a reasonable price. Features and benefits. Here's everything you need to know about it. 3.47-inch blade. Closed, it is 4.53 inches long and 8 inches open. Of course, it's the Civivi Damascus blade material. The thickness is 0.118 inches. The blade hardness is 58 to 60. It's a drop point style blade, hollow ground. The blade finish is the black hand rubbed Damascus. The handle material is marble carbon fiber. Handle thickness is 0.43 inches. It is a stainless steel liner, even it is a button lock. It still does have their caged ceramic ball bearings, their typical deep carry step, stainless steel carry clip with tip up right left carry. It weighs a whole 3.19 ounces, and there is a carbon fiber backspacer with hidden lanyard post also in there, which you can maybe see in the video. So if you want other options and finishes, of course, there are tons available. There's some what others are saying in there. There's no links to other reviews because I couldn't find any on this one. But there are plenty of reviews on the regular Elementum series out there. MSRP is $126. Retail is $107. You can get it at Civivi, of course, Knife Center, or Amazon. Now, I will mention, as of right now, Civivi has it, at least on Tuesday when we record this, for $94.50. So it's on a sale, which happened to work out pretty well. So our rating for the pros, he gave it the lightweight design. This says the knife is gorgeous. The button lock is extremely secure, and he had no problems with it sticking. Of course, it was extremely sharp out of the box. Cons, it lost its edge quickly. It says this is more on me, but I found the 3.5-inch blade to be a tad too long for my preference in an EDC knife, but Civivi does offer 3-inch models that are very similar. It says another small gripe is the hinge got noticeably dirtier with lint than any of my other knives, and I had to remove the lint more often. He did give it a score of 8.5, which was great. And I will mention, because he did not, it is a button lock, so there is no, assisted opening or anything. You push the button lock and it'll drop free, and you can flick it open with your hand. I guess there's a few states that consider this a switchblade. So, hopefully knife rights will get to them. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, I may be able to answer it. I only get to use it once in a great while.
That's profiling, isn't it? On a switchblade?
Yeah, maybe it is.
That's profiling.
Yeah. I'm like, let's see. I push the button. Okay, I got two different knives here. Okay, I pushed the button on the Civivi. Okay, oh wait, that one flung open.
I wish my camera was working because I would show Tony how fast this
oh yeah, that
the Cobra Tech come open. I was showing Chad earlier. Man, this thing is fast.
So, do you guys have any questions, or should we keep going?
Did it say how fast? Oh, what? I'm not how fast. What kind of steel the Damascus is out of?
It does not. And everything I found on the internet when I was looking, it's somewhere between like 9 CR MOV and 10 CR 14 or whatever it is what they make their Damascus out of. Nobody really says, so they don't really tell people.
Did it give a Rockwell hardness?
Yeah, 58 to 60.
58. Okay, that's a decent hardness.
I mean, I do know that even though it lost the blade, the sharpness, the razor sharpness, pretty quick. It is pretty easy to sharpen. It's not like you're.
Well, it's Damascus. It's folded steel.
Right.
I'm sure they're taking Damascus and they're layering it, and then they're heating it up and they're hammering it together. And they're folding. And all those microns in there are just being hammered together. So it's going to lose sharpness in there. Damascus is not known for its longevity.
Right. Now, and as you guys know, and you can see at the firearmsinsider.tv, it's a very pretty knife, and it's light. And I did notice the handle's smooth. There's like no texturing on it, but something to do with the carbon fiber they use in this, it actually has grip to it. Mm-hmm. Which
I was actually, what I was doing was going through to see the steels that it has. Oh, and another thing, they do have a shorter blade. They got a 2 and 0.96 inch.
Yeah.
So they have a shorter blade if somebody thinks, because he said it was too long, right?
Yeah, for his liking, it was a little bit long. We have one of the regular.
Is he small-handed?
Not really. He just prefers for what he does a 3-inch blade or there close to it.
I didn't know if he wore like tapered fit jeans or something like that.
He wears his sister's pants.
Okay, I'm just asking.
How tall are you, Tony?
6'2".
Okay, so he's like your height.
No, what I was checking out was the other steels they had, and they have less expensive knives with some mystery steel. I mean, I'm sure it has it on here, but I didn't bother.
Right.
But they also have D2, which is still less expensive than the Damascus. But understand, you get Damascus because of how good it looks.
Yep.
You're not getting Damascus because it's a long-lasting blade.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of blades, hey, looky. I got another blade from Undercrown. At the it's gold with the Undercrown logo on it. It's pretty cool. It's Chinese friggin' folder, Same thing I'd get if I joined the NRA for 5 years.
So, yeah. So that was the Civivi Elementum button lock carbon fiber Damascus. So yeah, go ahead, Tony.
No, go ahead. I think it's cool. I mean, I'm sorry, we're just talking about your knife. We're not talking about the discussion yet. But I think it's cool that if you understand, you can get knives to just have a nice looking knife. It could be that knife you pull out. And the cool thing about a nice looking knife, if you have it in a work situation, in an office, and like your son, he can have a 3-inch blade. It's not intimidating. It's not really wide. It's not a Rambo knife, and it's good looking. The whole thing is good looking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's less intimidating. And meanwhile, you still have a blade on you that you can do blade stuff with.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. And that's the thing is, most of the time, as probably all of our pocket knives are, is they open boxes a lot. So let's see here. Now we're into the product spotlight and discussion. And Tony's showing us another knife. Something about knife law, knife rewriting.
It's knife rights. It's on the blade. Rewriting knife law in America. It is. You can go and join Knife Rights. They fight across the country, and they have a free app to let you know what knife laws are across the country. So join. It's a Second Amendment advocacy group, yes, but it's about knives. We talk about knives a lot, but we don't talk about how stupid some of these laws are. Like you said, opening it one-handed somehow qualifies as a switchblade in New York.
Right. You guys get it. So, product spotlight and discussion. First up is the HoloSun HS507 Comp. MSRP on this is $435. And this is their new 507, of course, it's their competition version. Large window, a few different reticle options, all in the same one. You can get it in red or green. And let's see, the window size itself is 1.1 inch by 0.87 inch on an RMR footprint red dot. Let's see, it has their competition reticle system, which uses a 650 nanometer super red LED, up to 50,000 hour battery life on a 1632 battery. The multi-reticle system includes a precision 2 MOA dot, an 8 MOA circle, a 20 MOA circle, or a 32 MOA circle with multiple combination settings with all of those. So you could probably just have a circle or circle dot depending on what size you need. The exterior is a 7075 aluminum, shake awake technology. Basically, let's see. Of course, everything else is probably 6 daylight and 2 night vision compatible windows. Of course, you do not have to take it off to change the battery. Let's see dimensions for the whole thing. 1.8 inches by 1.3 by 1.3. It does weigh 1.7 ounces. Of course, click adjustments are 1 MOA. 30 plus or minus 30 MOA, so 60 total in your adjustments. Storage temperature, working temperature is minus 30 to 60 centigrade. So, I don't know what that converts to, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It is IP67 rated, multi-layer reflective glass. You get the idea. It's basically the new competition one that everybody wants, or if you don't want, it's there. I personally saw this and was like, hey, this is pretty cool. Now, for a carry gun, no. But it's not for a carry gun. It's for a comp gun, or if you're using it on a rifle as a standalone optic or as a 45 offset, something like that, this might be a great option. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. We all know the Holosun has a decent reputation nowadays. So, if this is something you're looking for, hey, great. I know Rusty was watching videos on it earlier, but what do you guys got on it?
I look at this, I know it's a competition optic. I was looking at this with the 2 MOA, the 8 MOA, and the 20 MOA as a hunting optic. You could take this thing and put it on a PC carbine anywhere from, I don't care if you put it on like a 9mm or a 44 or whatever. You dial this thing into what you need. And like I do a lot of hog hunting, everybody knows that. You get a running animal and you know where your distance is in this thing. And you fill the sight picture up and you can like just about dial in where this thing is, and you could target your animals. And this thing right here is going to be, it's going to, for the price, for $400 on the street, this is an awesome optic right here. I mean, yes, it's pricier than most, but man, you get a lot of optic, big window. You get a lot of different price pictures or price points and you just still get a dot. So I think it's a really good optic for. I'm looking at it as a PCC or like a rifle optic. So yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, I got you, Rob. Tony, you got stuff?
Yeah, I'm still there with Rusty, dude. It has a big window. Now that I'm actually in competitions more, I'm seeing people with the biggest damn dots you ever seen on their stuff. And it kind of sucks because I'm still using iron sights. And I'm like, that's so cool that they can do that so quickly. But yeah, the big window is great. I don't think this is a carry optic at all. I mean, because Sean and I talked about this years ago, and we talked about it on the show, that competition goes from gaming, and then it works its way in the military and EDC. It just that's the way it goes. And this is too big for EDC. I even think it might be too big for duty carry because it just opens you up to a lot of window. I don't know if it's as strong. You know what I mean? When the window gets that big, to deal with drops and banging the stuff really hard. Because when you run a competition, I mean, so far, because I've run classes. I haven't run competitions. I've run a lot of classes. You don't really slam your gear into stuff like you do if you have it hanging off your freaking drop leg every day, all day for a 12-hour shift. You know what I mean? Like, you got the gaming thing, you drop the mag, you leave it in the holster, and you might run it, but you're not doing it every day. You're doing it on the weekends during the season. So, but I think it's pretty cool as a competition thing. I'm not going to go there. Go
This
ahead.
is a competition optic. It's designed for competition. It's not designed to be an EDC type deal. For a competition optic, I think it's pretty cool.
There you go. And I
Other
think
than that,
yeah, and
use it what it's designed for.
I think for what Rusty says for hunting, I think it would make an awesome optic also.
Yeah, that's the first thing that popped in my head was the different dot and circles on it. Man, you could range out there for different if you knew where your drops were on it for whatever caliber you're using, this thing would be awesome. And if you're running on different pistols for whatever you're running pistol wise and you needed this, it'd be great. But I look at it as put it on your hunting rifle, hunting PCC, or put it on the new fangled tactical lever gun. I mean, you're set. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. Could be wrong, but I think it's pretty good. I think it worked great on 4570.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is, when you said tactical lever gun, I was thinking, yeah, if you had something like that in 357, 44, something like this might be a good sight for it. Granted, you can put regular red dot size rifle optics on one of those too, but if you wanted something not as heavy, you can see past the sight better with these usually. So I get how it would be a good sight for something like that also.
Yeah, because I like both eyes open because we're moving fast. We got dogs running. We don't want to hit a dog. We want to see as much as we can see out there. This big window really opens the eyes up. So that just, to me, that just it looks good.
Yep. So that is the new HoloSun HS507 Comp. Now, next up, this has been out for a little bit. I think Rusty wanted to talk about it once, and I was like, or we did before the show or something, and I was like, oh yeah, I have that listed to put in. It is the Rock Island BBR 3.10. MSRP on this is $699, and this is, the best way I can put it is, if you remember the old Para-Ordnance Warthogs, that's exactly pretty much what this is. It's basically new updated. This one's in 9mm, but it is an officer size wide body frame 9mm, and they say it weighs 1.62 pounds loaded. Yeah, I don't know if that's really a concern. It does hold 10 rounds of 9mm. Let's see. Overall length is 6.85 inches. Width is 1.5 inches. That's where it's a little fat guy. Overall height, it's still only 4.55 inches tall. So, it's right in there with like a 365 XL height. Basically, of course, wider. Fixed mounted front and rear sights. The rear is actually adjustable. Let me rephrase that. G10 grips. It's black anodized and parkerized depending on what you want. Trigger pull, single action, 5.7 pounds. They say its purpose is concealed carry, which, yes, if you don't mind a wider gun, it's, yes, I could see that. But it is, it's a 1911-ish style wide body pistol. So, it's out there. I actually kind of liked it when I first saw it. That's why I had put it in my to talk about someday. I like these little things. I don't know why. I just think they're kind of cool. I wouldn't carry one. Not that I wouldn't carry a 1911 cocked and locked. It's too wide for something I would carry.
Yeah. I'm checking this out, right? And I was totally, because I like the Warthog. I like the idea of all those guns, but I hadn't shot them. I like Para-Ordnance ideas. I mean, from back in the day when they were just making little receivers, I thought it was cool that you were put on, your Colt uppers on. But after watching multiple reviews of this thing and also knowing what I know, once you cut that barrel down to that size, you start getting finicky with its performance. It doesn't work like it should. And that's from the best manufacturers. It gets iffy. That's why pretty much 9mm 1911s are either 4.5 or a 5-inch. Because it's harder to make them work consistently when you get them that length. And every video I watched 4 different ones from totally different people in their approach to doing reviews, and all 4 said there was problems. Now, only one of them was a 9mm, and the other 3 were the 45 version of this that's older and been out there for a while. Another thing is, when you're dealing, understand you're shrinking a bigger gun. When you make a smaller gun bigger, it's easier, but when you make a bigger gun smaller, you run into problems. One of the problems was, usually when you shoot 1911s, or at least I know I did, I rest my thumb on top of the safety. You pull out, and it's to sweep the safety off, punch out with the other hand, and your thumb stays on top of that safety. Well, because this is so much shorter and thicker, I was watching GB Guns, and he was like, it's compromising my grip, so I'm not pushing the grip safety all the way in because my hand is cocked weird with this much wider. Remember, it's a double stack 1911. It's not the thin one. Then I looked at the weight, which is like 38 ounces, or actually, it's, about 38 ounces, if not more. And I'm like, why would I want this? And they were like, well, a 1911 trigger. Well, everybody that measured it, including I think its own literature, says it's a 6-pound trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what the heck? Why would I want a 6-pound 1911 trigger in something so small when I could like get a Glock 26? Oh, and the price I went and found it was like $4.99. It's as cheap as I could find it. So you're in Glock 26 territory. You're in Canic territory. For the Canic, what is it? The Canic Mete MC9.
Yes.
And also you only get one magazine with this. Now the guy who did the 9mm test, which is the newest version, they were like, he contacted Rock Island, and they told him you only get one mag with it because it's new. So that's the only magazine that works in it.
Great.
Well, that's not true at all. Your other double stack 9 mag works in it too. But he's like, I was totally disappointed that Rock Island's customer service didn't know this. But I did. So yeah, you got a gun that costs the same as Canics, costs the same as Glock 26s, and you only get one mag with it. I think there's a lot of, they needed to do better homework on this when they put it out. Also, it has a weird spring. It has a spring on a piston, and it's double sprung.
Yeah, it's a double spring piston. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're getting a lot of things that aren't really a 1911. It's just 1911-ish. So you're not getting 1911's dependability on the full-size 9mm. You're getting something that's really thick. Now, this is what, over an inch and a half thick?
They said they listed as 1.5 inches, so yeah.
Yeah. The Canic, the Glock are all like 1.1. Yeah, so they're much thinner. They're easy to carry, concealed. And now that you're dealing with 9mm, it's like, what is the 1911 thing you're looking for? Because again, you got a 6-pound trigger. You don't have dependability. You have it launching a 9mm round.
Well, what I don't understand is, even though I kind of like it, besides the problems you said it has, is the 45 version that's the same size, holds 10 rounds. Why doesn't this hold 13, 12? I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, I get what it is, but I'm like, and I thought that first when I first looked it up too, I was like, wait a second. This only holds 10 rounds, but the 45 version holds 10 rounds. Shouldn't this hold like 13 or something?
So I dismissed this 9mm altogether because this should never been released as a 9mm. The 45 was the original version.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, when they first come out with these guns, when Colt first released the officer models, they had problems with them, even as an officer model, because the 45 was meant to have a 5-inch barrel. Then as they went along and they started shortening the barrel, they started reducing, and they started having a double spring the
recoil spring. Yep.
Yeah, to make them function. So then when they got down to this 3.5-inch barrel right here, they had to start doing some crazy crap to get them to work. Okay, well, Paraordnance really did get the Warthog to function. The 45 in this model works because I fired one and I've put a lot of rounds through it. And because a friend of mine has one, and I don't know anything about the 9mm version of this. The 45 I do know. And I've never had an issue with that one particular one I've shot. It works. I like it. Is it thick? Yeah, it's a big hand and as I'm talking about, as you gotta have big hands to fire this gun. I didn't have an issue with it with the grip safety. I guess it was just because maybe I was excited because it was a 1911 in the 45 and the double stack, and it was so small. But it's thicker than the Glock. It's thicker than a Canic. But it's cool though. If you want, in the states that you can only have 10 rounds, why not have the biggest 10 rounds you can have?
45.
And yeah.
No. Yep, great.
Yeah, so that's just my stupid logic. I think I'd rather have the 45 in this than I would the 9mm, and it's thicker, it's heavier than your polymer handguns. If you're a 45 person, I think this gun is good. That's me. I like the straight pull trigger on it, and I've had a lot of Rock Islands, and I've never had an issue at a single one, from their cheapest one to their TAC Ultras. They all work flawlessly.
Now that's the problem with when you get the what do you call them? The entry level certain manufacturers. That's what you run into. You run into iffy quality control or spotty quality control. Because I looked up. And it's $549 for the 45 version on Palmetto State Armory. So again, I can purchase a lot of striker fired firearms in this thing in 9mm that are lighter, better suited, more popular. That you can equip it with a red dot. Like all that can be had for less. And then when I went down to the review, it was great until it wasn't. It was very accurate, but 200 rounds in, I ended up breaking the slide. The spring plug broke.
Yes. These things are these style 1911s are notorious for breaking the guide rod springs.
Yeah.
Every one of them from 1911 up, when they started manufacturing these things and people started cutting them down, they are notorious for breaking. If you do your 19, I got a book on them. I'd be more than happy to ship out to anybody. They are notorious for breaking. If you did your 1911 history, there's not a one of them. Once you start cutting down from a 5-inch barrel, they're going to break.
Yeah, the 4 1/4 is what I figured that is the shortest they can go reliably. So commander size, and some other companies have been known to put the short grip frames on the 4 1/4 models, but
they are not a plinking gun.
Yep. So
that's how I got to say about this, and it sucks because I wanted it to work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I want every gun to work.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the Rock Island BBR 3.1 in 9mm. Now, next up, we have something interesting. It is the North Forest Arms dual picture sights. MSRP on these is $149.95. These are tritium sights, iron sights, for right now, only for Glocks. I guess you can either get they are tritium 3-dot. It's got 2 in the rear and then 1 in the front. The front sights, you can get a white circle around the tritium or an orange circle.
Yeah, like Tony's beard.
Yeah. The difference between these and any other night sight is the rear sight has like a notch and then a circle underneath it. And the front sight, of course, has a notch and then it gets a round kind of circle around it and then goes back to the knot. And they say they're enhanced to shoot your shooting accuracy, of course, in any lighting condition, because you can line up the top little post, you center the dots, you line up the top post. Supposedly they're supposed to work a little better. I don't know. I'd really like to see a set just to see, like, if I bring this pistol up, how it, looks or how it feels. Because I know, like, who was it? Steyr with their kind of weird sights they put on their pistol.
Trapezoid sights.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they're bad. It's just without seeing these, you can only go off of the pictures. And, it's like, hey, it's somebody's trying to innovate. If it works good, great. I'm just like, I'd really need to see them and use them to see if.
And then what else? SIG had their SAS sights. Is that what it was? That were like cut into the slide?
which is a
know what that
notch.
was?
No, and then they had
Yes.
the the Israeli company.
Israeli sites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meprolite
Fab was
or
Meprolite, yeah.
and
Meprolites.
where they had the circle dot rear one. And I had one of those. Well, I actually still do because, I'm not going to give it to anybody. Where you'd line up the circle dots and then, it'd cover it, but you got both eyes open. But the problem is you can't adjust that particular sight. Now, going back to the North Forest Arms sights, yes, they're drift adjustable just like any other, sight. I'd really like to hear what you guys think about it because it's kind of hard to explain. So check out the show notes. You can click through it and find them or just do a search. But
Okay, first thing I thought of was the excess big dots sights that Jaeger used to push. James Jaeger used to push
with the V at the rear.
I fired a bunch of those at one of his classes. I run with the big dot sights. I can't think of the name. The XS big dots, whatever.
That's what they're called.
Yeah, and they were really good sights. I mean, that front sight picks up. What threw me off on this one was like lining the notches up, and I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if my old eyes are able to line it up that fast. If I'm overthinking it, maybe I am or not.
Yeah,
but it's a cool concept.
Right.
That's the only problem I have is like, are my eyes going to play tricks on me and line it up? Because that's what I had when I started shooting red dots. The first time I started shooting red dots is like, where is the red dot at in the window?
Right. And my guess is with these is because they have the round circle and then kind of the round, you're kind of putting a circle in a circle. And so human eyes supposedly pick up circles better. So that's why I'd really like to see them.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at with this. I want to see it because I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this could be really good because it's kind of like an aperture sight. It's an aperture sight with a notch cut in the top. And I'm like, okay, do we center this? Because I'm looking at the picture they have. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, where's the dot? Is it at the top or is it in the middle? So I have questions because I went to Kevin Dixie's Train and Learn, and I used the XS big dot. But again, I used it for the first time in speed shooting. The first time I unholstered and looked at the sight picture, I still had to figure it out, but it's in a class while we're shooting. So I'm looking at this wondering how easy is it going to be to pick up and use, or is there going to be a learning curve, or is it going to be, like you said, your eye drawn, because it doesn't look like the front sight goes in the middle. Like the top of the front sight doesn't look like it's in the middle of the circle.
Right.
It looks like it's higher. I don't know. It's because if I have to focus to make sure the dots are aligned, the rear and the front, then I'm not target focusing. You know what I mean? If I don't bring it up and it's not where it needs to be, I have to relearn the sight picture.
Well, it's just like the old lever action rifles, like the old Henrys and
Buckhorns.
stuff.
Yep.
Yes. A lot of people can't shoot those. A lot of people can't shoot buckhorn sights. Tony, there you go. I didn't even have to say anything. I got a buddy of mine who has stripped his Henry down because he can't shoot buckhorn sights. He replaced them with some other sights that are out there. Yes, because now I've got a Henry sitting there beside my bed that's loaded up and that has buckhorns, and I can grab it and I can run all day, every day with buckhorns because that's what I grew up with. Buckhorns run great with me, but some people just don't know how to use them.
Yeah.
But this is a little different, but it's kind of the same if people understand what I'm talking about with buckhorns. But it's a little bit more closed in. I love the concept of it, and I hope this is a great sight because it really looks good with the tritium, and I like the different colors. I like how it's got the orange that I'm looking at right there. I hope that catches the eye, and I hope it just pops and just lines up for you and runs.
Yeah,
I hope it works like a red dot, and if so, hey, send me one because I need all the help I can.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, and that's the thing is of the two options they have, the white or the orange, I personally think the orange is the way to go because
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the white I think might get lost a little bit, but that's just my thoughts. So those are the North Forest Arms dual picture sights. Go check them out. And last but not least, I did put another Civivi in here. This is the Vaquita 2. This is a fixed blade. Small fixed blade. Yeah, it's kind of new. I guess it's kind of a Caramba bit-ish style little fixed blade. It's a 3.2 inch blade. It is Nitro V. So, that's a little plus. It does come with a chain and a Kydex sheath. So basically for a neck knife. Overall length is 6.23 inches. It is 1.24 inches width. Already went over the blade length. Cutting edge length, they say, is 3.37 inches because the way the handle sits in this thing, it's actually a little longer. Handle length is 3 inches basically. It is 100 thousandths thick. Handle thickness is only 0.29 inches thick. It only weighs 1.28 ounces, so it's not very big. It is 58 to 60 hardness. Like I said, Nitro V, flat ground, Blackstone washed. As they say, this is a kukri style blade, just a small one. That's what I was trying to think, but couldn't. The one in the show notes is dark green micarta handle, but they have a few others. Black handle, I think, and I don't know. They're like $69, $67, depending on which ones you want. G-Tan handle or micarta. I thought it was kind of cool. It's not, this is not a knife you're going to use every day to cut stuff, but if you want a smaller fixed blade fighting knife to put on your belt or something, this might be something you might want to think about. It's not super expensive. So that's my thoughts on it.
My thoughts is it's garbage. Now, the reason I'm just so crazy with it is because the weight. It's like 2 ounce kukri. The way a kukri is built and the purpose of a kukri is slashing and is to use the heavy blade and the design.
Right, the weight
to put
forward.
Force into a swing. And this is a neck knife, so it's this big.
Yeah.
It's got less of a handle than it does a blade. So understand what you're looking at. Because when I first saw the picture, when I pulled it up to throw in the show notes, I was like, what is that beaded thing in the picture?
Yeah, it took me a second too.
Dude, it's a freaking neck knife? I thought this was like maybe the Kershaw Camp 10.
Like a 10-inch blade or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Cold Steel Kukri or Kukri Magnum. And I'm
I can't clean my damn fingernails with it.
I'm like, so, okay. And it's not trash, but what I'm saying is the design is that particular design looks cool as this, and the other one looks even better. Not the dark green, but the silver one. I think they have one like that too.
Yeah, black with silver blade.
Mm-hmm. They look cool, but it's just imagine just a miniature version of a real knife. They're better design, and also the fact that it's really difficult to sharpen this recurved blade compared to a straight blade that you can use as a neck knife. And the cool thing about neck knives I found, because I use a CRKT, the neck knives they had, even though I gave mine to my father-in-law for self-defense, is using it to cut boxes and using it at work and using it as that thing that weighs absolutely nothing that you can have on you. This is a little too big for that and a little too light to do anything else. So, but if you want a cool looking mini kukri, I think this is it. But it has none of the kukri functionality other than it's just a knife. That's it.
Good point. Good points, Tony. Good points, actually.
See, I carried the CR. You brought up CRKT. I carried the Minimalist for a long time as a neck knife. My son bought me that for Father's Day. I still have it. It's sitting in my box in there. That knife, the blade steel is not that great, but for what it is, it's a fantastic knife.
Yep.
And I mean, it hangs on the neck. It doesn't get in the way. You can do a little minor cutting, open boxes. You can, if you need a knife in a jam, you got a knife. It's got a great point. It doesn't have a funky curve to it. If this knife right here had a 6-inch blade, a 5-inch blade, because its overall length is just over 6.25. If it had a 6-inch blade, this would be a perfect belt knife.
Yeah.
Because I like belt knife. I carry horizontal. I've been carrying the same belt knife for a long time. I did a review on it here a while back, the Essie.
Yeah.
It's been on my belt ever since. And I haven't went a day without it. I've carried it every day, everywhere I've been. I've been on 3 different continents with it. And I've carried that knife everywhere. And it's still going strong. And it's a good blade. You make it a little bit where you can carry it a little bit bigger, where you can carry it a little bit longer, and you can do a little bit more work with it, and you'll have a better knife.
That's what every knife review said too.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep. So
that's personal preference. I'm a working man's knife person. Let me work with my knife. Let me skin with it. Let me cut some animals with it. Let me skin the animal with it. Let me gut the animal with it. Let me cut some boxes with it. Let me not have to change my grip angle, to change my hand placement, to cut rope or to do whatever. Because I use my knives to cut clothes, cut rope, to cut whatever. Because if I don't have my shears with me in the pocket, my knife is my last resort to cut people's clothes off. I mean, whatever. I know that's not the greatest thing in the world, but you do what you got to do in a jam. I've cut seat belts with it. I've cut windshields out with my knives. You know, I extricate people out of cars with them if I have to in certain jams. So, you know, give me that extra blade length and that extra blade steel, and let's work with it. So.
Yep. Okay. So that is a Civivi Vaquita 2. And now, Primary Arms. Primary Arms seeks to provide the best shopping experience for everything firearms. With over 13,000 products from your favorite brands, Primary Arms carries a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearm parts, and shooting gear. Every order comes with a commitment to superior service, fast shipping, and an expert support team. Now, before our Primary Arms product of the week, I would like to, shout them out for the local big match here. They sent 2 optics, Primary Arms did, for the match prizes. So, one was the SLX 1X Prism, which is one of my favorites, and an RS10. So, shout them out for supporting, local larger shooting matches. Now, product of the week, the MDT XRS chassis for the Remington 700 short action. In FDE. These things are like $550. I love MDT stuff. So this is, one of their chassis that pretty much just bolt in. I thought it was a pretty good price. The FDE is the new color. So of course it's there at Primary Arms. And you can sign up for the Primary Arms newsletter and more by going to frn.deal/PA. If you use the code Firearms Radio, you buy a GLX 1-6 by 24 first focal plane, you will receive a deluxe AR-15 scope mount with that optic. So, listener feedback. Don't have any, or I couldn't find any, or people just aren't telling us what they want. So that means we got to send it over to Tony. See what he's doing.
They're scared of Tony is what it is.
That's probably it.
Oh, hold on. Hold on right here. The listener feedback. Tony carries the show. He's awesome. The rest of those guys are mid at best.
There, I fixed that for him.
Come on, Black Aaron.
So, okay, Tony.
Our next diversity shoot is going to be June 15th. Oh, check it out. going to Detroit at the end of July, helping Rick Ector. We're trying to reach and train 2,000 women at his weekend free event in Detroit. So you can check him out at, Frank, what's the name of it? I know it's Legally Armed in Detroit. His website, it's called Laid, but do not go to laid.com. Just don't do that unless you like flooring and carpeting, because that's who bought that, which is awesome. But yeah, Legally Armed in Detroit, you can support the work he does there. I'll be going there. I'll be asking for donations to help get me there. I actually looked at plane tickets to get up there, because while I'm up there this year, I talked to Rick, because we were on the show together, I guess 2 days ago. And he was like, talk to the Rangers while you're up here and see if we can plan for 2024 a diversity shoot at either one or both of those ranges right before the 2024 event. So yeah, I'm going to be in Detroit at the end of July, last weekend in July for that. The next diversity shoot here in Jersey is June 15th at the Union Hill Gun Club in Monroe, New Jersey, 6 to 9 p.m. You can go to diversityshoot.com and find your link there. Or you can go to the bio in either my Facebook page, The Second is for Everyone, or Simon Says Train. Go from there. Or you can visit Second for Everyone on Twitter. It's there, pinned to the top of the page. And Simon Says Train on IG. There's a link there in the bio. So if you want to help us, go ahead. Yes, I'm still making the moves to become a charity, but I think it's important for me to keep the work up. Also, I plan on going to Colorado this year. So yes, I'm trying to do diversity shoots across the country. I'm setting myself up now for the future. So when we do launch Diversity Shoot, the charity, when we go to the SHOT Show next year in 2024, I'll be a 501c3, and hopefully it'll be a lot easier to get donations, and we can start doing this in multiple states. People have reached out to me, and I might end up doing regions, like just hit the South during one season, hit the West during another season, hit the Midwest during another season.
Has KD got his range up in Atlanta yet?
No, Greenwood is not done yet, but we will have the 2024 training learn there, and he will be starting to host stuff there. But a lot of the building and the range and stuff is actually getting leveled out and plowed. They just put a road in and everything.
When are you going to Detroit? Detroit
is the last weekend in July.
Okay, let's set a goal. Let's do $25 an episode. Who's going to match me from now until the time Tony leaves?
That's like 8 weeks, baby.
It's like,
hey, I got it.
All right.
I spend that much money on freaking beer an episode.
And where can they find Tony? Simon Says Train at Yahoo.
You can do Simon Says Train on IG, or we can do diversityshoot.com.
Instagram, 6 Gun Daddy, just like it sounds. If y'all want to match me, come and call me out. I will match y'all's ass on there. It says 8 weeks, that's $200. I got you. You let me know, I got Tony. I will match you $200 from now then. I got Tony. Somebody match me. You got a hair on your ass if you don't do it.
There you go.
On the 15th, okay, I checked out the tickets, the round trip from Detroit from Trenton. So what I'm going to try, actually there's no round trip from Trenton, there's a round trip from Newark. So I'm going to try to purchase the tickets early as possible to keep the price as low as possible. So hopefully we have a good turnout in Union Hill. And that way that ticket's paid for, and then anything else we can try to raise money. If not, yes, I need donations. I don't want to depend on the diversity shoot to make money, because you never know. It's summertime. We may have a low turnout.
Yep.
Because it's summertime.
Yeah, so match Rusty's donation. You guys know how. We appreciate it. Tony especially appreciates it. Now,
hell yeah, dude.
For the rest of us, send questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review somewhere so we can, not have Tony trying to read fake reviews.
How dare you, sir?
Check out all those. Check out all the other great shows.
Definitely not Tony.
Yeah, that's right. On the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.net. Don't forget to visit the Firearms Insider at firearmsinsider.tv. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Firearms Insider. Please check out all our great sponsors, and thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network.
Hey,
and
let's call out some people like High Point. Where Dave at? Dave call out. Let's call Dave out. High Point, call him out.
High Point will be there.
Yeah.
And
Let's call Dave. Send Tony some money.
What about Henry?
Send Tony some money.
Understand, when I'm 501c3, these people have no problem sending me money, but until then, it's just cutting somebody a check, and that's not how it rolls.
Yeah, I gotcha. So, now that that's over with, we are out.
Pepsi didn't kill himself.